completely different time. I don't think anyone has ever experienced anything like this before. I know that in October last year, all the energies were shifting, and I started to get this mad urge to hoard reading material. And to justify it, I decided I'd write lots of blogs. That is not going to happen. So when I talk about energy, all of us when we're born are able to connect with energy. It's how we survive. It's how our ancestors survived. They planted by the moon, they read the energies of the weather, they understood the patterns. The whole world is patterns and energy. I just want you to remember that, okay? Think about when you're going to a party. You get to your friend's house, you're the first one there, you walk in the room, they have been arguing. You can feel that energy. It makes you uncomfortable. You know they've had an argument, even if they've got plastered smiles on their faces, you can feel that energy. You go to a party, everyone's having a great time, they stop when you arrive, but you know they're having a great time, you can feel that energy. You go to a funeral, it's someone you don't even really know, but if you're tuned in and are sensitive, you'll want to cry, you'll feel that energy. Everything is energy, animals, plants, everything across the board. By staying at home, we have to learn to deal with our own energies. And for a lot of people, that's going to be difficult because they're not used to being in their own space without distractions. Myself personally, I live alone, but I'm going to find it difficult because I'm used to going out and then I come home, it's my sanctuary. But I go out, I'll go out for coffee, I'll go out for lunch, I go out to meetings, I network, I go out, I run workshops, people come to me. I'm going to lose all that contact. If you live with other people, you're going to have that contact all the time. What is going to happen is that each and every one of you are going to have your buttons pushed sooner or later. And a lot of those buttons will reflect back to your ancestral line. So bear with me while I explain a little something to you. We all have a story, and the story we carry isn't necessarily the one that we have created. There's this really good book, and it's called It Didn't Start With You. So think of your grandmother. She is pregnant with your mother. So the grandmother's trauma is going to go into your mother. Your mother already has the eggs inside her for you. So the trauma can be going into you. So just take that back 7 generations. Each generation is roughly 20 years. You are the byproduct of all that. And so is everyone else around you. So if you're having a meltdown or people are acting totally weird, something has triggered their story. Take a step back, take a deep breath, because a lot of stories are going to come to the surface right now. So if you're still with me and I haven't lost you, could you just nod your head or raise your hand? Yep, Katie Pie, thank you, yay. I don't want to lose you all. I've only just started. So as people get their buttons pushed, we can look on this as a fantastic time for all of us to learn to understand ourselves better, to heal past trauma. If we can heal past trauma within ourselves, we stop it for the people around us, and we certainly stop it for the generations to come. I'll share a little story with you. When my mother was 15, her mother died. When I turned 15, my mother disconnected from me. She had no concept of how to treat me after I turned 15. She still loved me and cared, but there was a chop in the emotional connection. When my daughter turned 15, or just before she turned 15, leading up to it, she decided she would live with her dad. That was not a good outcome. When her son turned 15, or just before, he decided he would live with his dad. That was not a good outcome. Now we're working really hard to make sure it doesn't happen again. We've been working very hard to heal past traumas to make sure they aren't repeated in our future generations. I have a great-granddaughter. She turned 3 yesterday. And I have another great-grandchild coming in August. So we're doing our level best to make sure that we heal the wounds of their parents so that going forward, their lives are easier. Everyone still with me? Yeah, Katie Pie. One of the essential oils that I've used that I've had great success with, and I didn't set out to have the success with this, it happened quite incidentally, is Smart and Sassy. It was my dad's anniversary of his first passing. And I thought, I'll sit out on the deck and I'll have a couple of drops of the Smart and Sassy and I'll start my diet because I need to. So while I'm sitting there having a little read and sipping on my Smart and Sassy, I could feel my puku, my stomach, start to churn. We call that the solar plexus chakra. And that's where all your emotions sits. It's your anger, it's your fight or flight, it's emotion, whichever way you want to look at it. And I could feel it bubble and gurgle. And obviously I released a lot of blocks. I had a marvelous sleep that night. It was the best one I'd had in over 2 years while we were caring for Dad. I messaged a friend's daughter who was using Smart and Sassy, some other bits and pieces, and I asked her what were the results she was getting, had anything happened in her whānau, in her family. And she said, you know, Trish, that's really amazing. When Sian was born, I knew that she had problems that she brought through with her. But doctors told me that she had colic, and that's how they treated it. I put Smart and Sassy in the diffuser last week, and she sobbed. Now, this little girl was 2.5, and she sobbed uncontrollably. I had to turn everything off. I tried it again the next day, same thing. So what she started to do was put lavender in the diffuser and just 1 drop of Smart and Sassy. And then eventually the next week, she upped it to 2 drops. So that eventually Sian cleared what the blocks were. We don't know what they were. She was too young to explain. But this stuff works on your emotions. I went up to Whangarei to speak a few weeks ago and was taking people on a journey through this lifetime. We meditate through it and we go through to see where you've got blocks, what age you've formed blocks, and to try and uncover them and release them. I brought out the past tense and said that put that on the back of your neck, and that helps you to release tension from the past that you're carrying through. Smart and Sassy helps you to release emotions that you've blocked. And there was one gentleman there and he was very upset and he said, I don't know if this will help me. And it transpired that his wife had died about 12 months ago and he was still struggling to come to terms with that. So he added console to that. When we'd finished the journey and came back and people shared what they'd experienced, one lady who was 75 got the giggles and she said, you won't believe this, she said, but I'm not stupid. I really am not stupid. And then she shared with us that she had been born late in life and her siblings were a lot older than her. They grew up on a farm. Siblings went off and went to boarding school. And she was 13 before she realised they were actually her relations. And she thought she was so stupid. And she decided in her mind, I am so stupid. With this clearing, she stopped it. And there was a lovely shift in her aura. She was much, much shinier. The gentleman who had used the console as well went back to when he was 7 and realised that when his parents separated, he was sent to boarding school and felt totally abandoned and unloved. And this was why he was struggling to deal with his wife leaving him. We had some other ones as well. I want to share with you how important these essential oils are. They aren't just to make the room smell nice or to make you feel better on the surface. They go much deeper than that. Past tense will release tension in your body. You may not understand what that tension has been activated by, but it will help you to release it. The other one I used was forgive. Yeah. And most times that's because we need to forgive ourselves. We do something, we beat ourselves up, we feel guilty, and then we stop our own progress going forward and we can spiral down. Forgive is a massive one to help you move forward from your sense of guilt. I had a client the other day, and when my clients come to me, I tune in and I'm guided as to which essential oils to put into the diffuser for them. And hers was forgive, and I can't remember the other one. But forgive was the main one. And I immediately sensed that she was feeling very guilty as a mother for something that had happened to her children. And it turned out she'd gone on holiday years back. Her son is 50 now. But she'd gone on holiday and left the children with family members, and on the weekend her sister. And this wasn't just a holiday to fill in time. This was an important trip overseas that she had to do. It transpired that her sister is quite a nasty person, and to the point that her son actually tried to run away from her. So when she came back, both her children formed habits that weren't very healthy for them. And one became very clingy. He became clingy to his mother, and the daughter tried to push her away. So we've worked through that as well. So that's how powerful forgive is. It helps you to move through a sense of guilt and duty and get down to the nitty-gritty of it all. Is this where I ask if there's any questions, or I just keep talking?
You just keep talking, and if there are any questions that come up in the chat, I will unmute myself and ask you.
Cool bananas.
So anybody, please feel free to message in the group chat just down below.
Okay, the next one is spearmint. And this helps to clear the throat chakra. This is where we get a lot of blocks. If you're doing body work, the right brain crosses over here into the left side of your body. And this is your intuition, your creativity, your feminine side. The left brain is your masculine, analytical, you put things in boxes and you can understand forms, that side. Everything crosses here at the throat. So this throat chakra can be really, really blocked. And it goes from the left down the right side of the body, from the right down the left side of the body. And if you move your arms around, you can help unblock this area here. It's your creativity, it's your expression, and it helps you to release the blocks that are in your solar plexus chakra, the one down in your puku where you push all your emotions. So just move your arms around if you're feeling blocked. Yeah, let's do it now. A little bit of exercise, never hurt anybody. Just get those arms moving, unblock yourself, feel yourself opening up. And as you open the throat chakra, you also take a bit of pressure off your heart chakra. And a lot of people think it's the heart that makes a lot of decisions because they're feeling lost, lonely, or sad. It's your head. What you think is created throughout your body. It took me a long time to come to grips with this. But what we think comes through our body, and that's all there is to it. Simple to say, hard to deal with. What I found working for me is to meditate, and it's something I've done for a lot of years now. When you're meditating, you don't have to sit still and be calm and all those things. Meditation can also be going for a walk along the beach, scrubbing out the bath, you know, get the old arm movement going, and everyone runs away if you're doing chores, washing dishes or anything like that. As soon as you start to go into a repetitive state, and it can become quite meditative, you stop thinking about the dirt on the dishes and everything else. You just wash the dishes, or you dry the dishes, or you mop the floor, or you vacuum. All these things can help you go into a meditative state. When you do that, you release the stress from your body, and you actually start to get some little happy endorphins going on in there, and you relax. An interesting thing is that you can also start to get answers to questions you've had. So for a lot of us, a little statement we have is, in the silence, the answers will come. And that works because we switch off the brain, we switch off that analytical left side, and we just step into the right side. A little story. I worked in the rest home industry for 6 years, and I went in there thinking I was going to teach art. I was ever so excited, but anyway, they don't do art that much. It's only about an hour, and you entertain them on other levels. Now, we had this lovely lady. She came in when she was 65, or actually 64. She had her 65th birthday with us, and she had advanced dementia. She could have a conversation with you, but it was becoming limited. About a year later, all she could really do was say, yeah, 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 and no, no, no. When we played music she loved, and one of her favourite songs was The White Cliffs of Dover, she would sing all the words. There was nothing wrong with her vocal cords. It was something in the left side of the brain that was stopping her from being able to articulate. The right side and music was working fine for her. The brain is an amazing thing. While working in the industry, I walked into the rest home one morning and was laughing with one of the caregivers. We were in the lobby, and I heard two of the residents in the lounge talking, and one of them said, "Did you hear that?" And the other one goes, "Hear what?" She goes, "Oh, listen, you won't hear anything if you keep talking." So I laughed to see what would happen. And her response was, "Did you hear that? She's here. We're all right now." She didn't remember my name. She didn't know who I was. She just knew I wore a red shirt, and I laughed, and they were safe with me. It was the energy. So think about that when you're hanging out with your whānau, or you're doing your presentations. Your energy says a lot more than your words. There's that old saying, actions speak louder than words. So we've been touching on some of the crystals and, some of the chakras. Each chakra is a colour. So if you're into colour and trying to heal, you have your 7 main chakras. And you may find, for argument's sake, that you're drawn to the red, colour red. When you get to traffic lights and you get red, it's stop. But when you are pulling red into you as a colour, it's about vibrancy, it's about being seen, it's also about belonging. Your base chakra is understanding your foundation of where you belong. And if you're feeling stuck and wobbly and the foundations aren't feeling good, go for red. If you're into crystals, a smoky quartz crystal is lovely. That really helps to ground you, and it helps to stabilize you. Going up a little bit more, you have your Sacral Chakra. That's orange. And that is about abundance as well. If you bring orange in, it can bring a lot of abundance in. So you look at your orange coloured crystals and they will help you with that. It's also about your physical strength and your physicality, your sexuality, masculine, feminine. It's another strong chakra to make sure you've got activated. Your solar plexus chakra is yellow. And that also goes with, you often see yellow around, the yellow aura around people's minds. And it shows me they do a lot of thinking and processing before they make a decision. But that's all in your gut. It's all there. Eat yellow foods, even bananas, if you're feeling emotionally overwhelmed with things. Your heart chakra can be green or pink. It's pink for emotions, harmony, and peace. It's green for growth. So you've got two different types of crystals you can use there. Most people use rose quartz. That's one of the best ones, and it helps to bring that balance in. The throat chakra, I have found, just a sidetrack, I got yarrow pom, it's blue, and I rub it on here and I'm feeling so much better because it's blue. The throat chakra is blue. For females, the best crystal for your throat is lapis lazuli. It's a very soft feminine stone, and it helps to bring a softness in here so we can release the tension. For males, it's sodalite for the throat. So if you've got men around the house or males and they're feeling blocked and they're not communicating, just slip a little bit of sodalite essential oil into the house, crystals into the house, and see how you go. For up here, your third eye, this is where you get a lot of your messages from if you're trying to communicate and be more intuitive and communicate with the other side. Works amazingly for up here. And for a lot of people, they'll use amethyst for the third eye, and they also use it for the crown. I'm just going very briefly over these because some of these topics may not be of interest to you. With crystals, my overall crystal that I use when I do readings or sessions is this. It's a quartz crystal. A quartz crystal has all the colours of the rainbow in it. So if you can only buy one crystal, go for quartz. Quartz is used in watches and all sorts of things like that. Quartz crystal is also a conduit of energy. So if you've got things going on around you, your quartz crystal can help with that as well. Another really good one to try and use if you want to develop your third eye and crown chakra is Salubel. Amazing feedback on that. You can put it up on your crown here or here. A story. One of the girls I know was quite keen to extend this area of her life, and she put it on here, and had some amazing results. Ended up tracking a guy down who she saw walking past and sharing a message with him, and said she thought he might think she was a Looney Tune. And honestly, I don't recommend walking up to strange men and giving them messages, but he came back and said to her, "Thank you. You have answered a question for me that I didn't know how to get the answer for." So Salubel is very strong. It can help you really connect if you're looking to do that. How am I doing for time? I'm rushing a bit here.
Don't rush, Trish. This is all such valuable information. We're absolutely loving it.
Oh, cool.
You just do.
Can I just, feedback? I'm loving this. Don't worry about time. I don't know anything about these things, so it's really interesting.
Oh, lovely. Okay. Katie Pie.
And also,
Chakras.
we've got nowhere to go.
Yeah.
I'd forgotten that.
We've got no place to be, so this is amazing.
Let's see. This is my favourite uplifting blend that I've been using for years. So backtrack a bit. I was introduced to essential oils in the late 80s, and I've been using them since then. It was quite hard to get information on them, but I had a selection, and when my clients came to me for healing, because I did holistic pulsing, touch for health and things like that, I would know just by putting my hand on them or them stepping into my space what essential oils they required. As the years have gone by, I've shifted to different companies because I felt that essential oils were improving. When Linda suggested, that's Linda Wharton, suggested that I use the doTERRA, I was all for it. Because when I held the bottles, I knew that the energy in them was far superior to any other essential oil that I had used. So essential oils, good quality ones, have a very strong vibration on a cellular level, and it's the cellular level of the essential oil that speaks to the cells in our body. Essential oils come from plants and they're natural, and our body is an organism as well, full of cells. The essential oils will go to the cells that they are directed to go to. Does that make sense? Nod. Yeah, everyone's in with me on that? Okie dokie. So the Uplifting Blend is lavender, wild orange and peppermint. I've been making it for years and had amazing results. Wild orange is amazing with teenagers. I've got 3 generations to prove that, and a lot of friends as well with scrappy teenage daughters. And I remember making a blend of lavender and wild orange in little bottles of pure essential oil. Well, not as pure as what we have now. Put them in the diffuser. And one of my friends, her hubby was a little bit poo-poo about all this. Anyway, their daughters were having a screaming match, opening and shutting their bedroom doors and throwing things at each other. And in desperation, my friend put the blend in the diffuser. And within about 10 minutes of the girls getting the aroma of it, they calmed down and came and sat in the lounge and had civilized conversations. My friend's husband said, we need a truckload of that, just organise it now. So, wild orange, Katie Pie, it's about abundance, creativity, and it's a really joyful blend. I highly recommend that everybody has that in their selection. Lavender is exceptionally calming. A lot of people don't like the smell of lavender. It takes them back to grandmothers with their lavender soap and all their other lavender stuff. But if you camouflage it with the wild orange, drop of peppermint, Katie Pie, everyone is happy. Now let's see. This is the abundance. What was that one for? This is for your heart chakra that I did. This is lemon, peppermint, and litsea. Litsea is about manifestation, and often in our heart we get blocked. We know in our mind what we really want. We want love, we want peace, we want to be admired and respected, but for some reason people aren't getting the memo. This one will help bring about the focus, the clearing, the communication, and the love. Litsea is a beautiful essential oil. For your throat chakra, for clarity and joy, I've got wild orange, lavender, and geranium. A lot of people don't think to use geranium, but it's just lovely and it's feminine. So it helps bring a lift on the heart. It's really, really good. The throat rather, but it works on the heart. Are there any questions? Oh no, I'm not allowed to ask that. Sorry, I'm not running a workshop. Catching on. I'm loving all this technology, you know. The other thing I want to share with you is this little crystal. It's called selenite. It's transparent. It will dissolve in water. But it helps to, a lot of people use it for gridding around the home. It helps to keep negative energies out. It helps to bring more positive energies in and to help people become uplifted. This is called Obsidian and it's jet black. It's a really, really good one. Years ago when I got my first computer, I couldn't deal with all the energy that came through them. And I went and brought a great big rock of obsidian and it was black. And I put it next to my computer and after a few months it started to go grey. Just to let you know what the energies were like in those computers way back then. But it took a lot of the energy, whatever it is that comes out of a computer, away from me. So I found that really good. Okay, girls, just move your shoulders back. Get a bit of energy going through. That's it. Katie Pie. Up and down. Come on, let's just do a bit of exercise. That's it. Cool bananas. Now you're feeling a bit more energized. I want you to rub your hands together. You won't do this, Hannah, you're driving. Rub it, rub, 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 and get really, really fast. Your hands will start to get very, very hot, and then take them apart and then slowly bring them back together. And just slowly feel that energy. Okay? You can feel the energy all around. You might only have the energy like that, others might have it like that. It's part of your aura. It's part of the energy you carry all around you. That is what we are healing. When I look at some of my clients and I see their aura, I can see where the energy has been damaged so that it becomes a physical ailment or a block. If we can keep our aura nice and clean, then it stops it getting into our bodies most times. Now, I'm not the healthiest and fittest person here, but this is what I know. When I teach people to do energy work and healing, I ask them to rub their hands together and then work out how they can apply healing to themselves. So you can just pop your hands, I'll just show you from this side up. You pop your hands here, you're just giving your throat a nice bit of healing. The idea is to breathe in through your nose, right down into your belly. That's your diaphragm. Hold it. And then slowly exhale out through the mouth. And feel your body relax. And then breathing in again through the nose. And then out. And relax. Don't want you to go to sleep. But you can do that over your whole body. So you've got your base chakra, your sacral, your solar plexus, your heart, your throat, brow, and crown. A lot of people like to work on the higher heart chakra, which is between here and here. Just pop your hands there and have a little go at that and just see how you feel. Just feel yourself calming down. And these are things that you can do throughout the day. You won't be rushing for the bus or any of those things. So just remember to look after yourselves. One last thing, rub your hands together and the back of the neck at the nape, because that's where we carry so much tension. Remember, this is where the left and the right side brain cross over for the body. It's where we hunch ourselves to work on laptops and screens of all descriptions. And that breathing in, and we're stretching ourselves out, stretching our spine. Yay. Hope everyone's feeling good now. And you've got lots of information to help you go forward. I do have a little booklet that I put together for chakras, crystals, essential oils, all those. And as soon as I find out how I can share it, you can have it. Part of my confusion is I was using Microsoft, and then I got G Suite. My beautiful admin lady's going to have a baby, and she's left me in charge. And I don't know whether I'm coming or going.
Trish?
Yeah?
I've just got a question. With what everyone's going through at the moment, and yeah, isolation and anxieties around the craziness, do you have any blends or crystals or advice in general? Like, what are you doing to kind of like maintain balance in your home?
To entertain myself. For me, I find that the wild orange is the best. I'm a great advocate of that. And it's only because it works so well on all the chakras and helps to lift our mood. The Uplifting Blend, I've got a few of my clients using that now. You know, some of them are in dire straits. I've closed down businesses, very anxious about staff. They were using it in the office and in the showrooms, and they've all had a great response to that. So that's the wild orange, lavender and peppermint. I recommend you only put 1 drop of peppermint in the diffuser and maybe 2 of each of the others while you work it out. Peppermint's really strong and it can override everything else. That would be my main thing, to do that. Plus the breathing. Every now and then I have to make myself stretch and breathe, because otherwise I'm just hunched over. Getting out in the fresh air. Being patient with everybody. While I'm not living with any of my family, I'm getting messages coming in and people aren't doing what somebody else wants them to do. So there's a lot of that. It's going to be a lot of give and take. And I think myself personally, I've been reading energies and doing things like that for most of my life. For me, this had to happen. Unfortunately, it's happened this way. But people have become so disconnected from themselves and each other, and put money and objects as being more important, that eventually we had to come to something like this. It's an opportunity for us to connect with ourselves, connect with other people, and work out what is extremely important. And I think everyone will come back to the point that family is the most important thing that we can have. That may not be your bloodline, but it could be your extended whānau. Within my own environment that I've grown up with, my great-grandmother was a great one for taking in everybody else's children and raising them if she didn't think that they were being raised properly. So we have a huge extended family that is not bloodline, but they are still whānau. I think those are the most important things. The other one is, and this is vitally important, is to keep in contact with people. Zoom, Skype, Facebook, these are important because you can see each other, particularly in my situation of being on my own. I like people. I don't live alone because I don't like people. I like my own space, but I like people. I have a group called Yarnties, Yarning for Charity, and this is predominantly ladies in their 70s and up, and every Tuesday we would meet and we'd knit and crochet and yarn, yak. I was amazed at how upset some of them are. That Tuesday morning is their lifeline with society, and I didn't realise to the degree they are crying. So now I'm going to be phoning them every week to make sure they're okay. Those who can use the internet, and I've just got a Zoom account, if they can click on that and I can get them onto Zoom, we'll be fine, and then they can see their friends. They all have a purpose. They are all still knitting. I have to go and drop yarn off to them. They have to know that they are important and people care about them, and what they are doing is contributing something important to the community. Yeah. So when I look at it like that, it's keep ourselves safe, keep ourselves calm, because if we get stressed, we can't think clearly, and we actually create dis-ease in ourselves, so we get sick. The other thing is to make sure we keep in contact with our community. I'm up in Orewa, so I will be a drop-off point for some of the food packages that Love Soup do, and making sure that some of my elderly ladies are looked after. This is a really important time for us to learn how to be a community. And some of the best groups to watch are more the Pacific Island groups, non-Pakeha really. They're the ones who look after their families and group together. They have very strong cultures. We could learn a lot, yeah. Does that help, Hannah?
Titsuni, do you have any questions?
Let me just mute myself. Unmute. Oh, okay. Do you use adaptive? Do you find adaptive is appropriate for these situations for yourself?
I don't use adaptive. I actually can't even take any of the capsules. I react terribly to all the veggie caps. So
okay. Like essential oil itself?
I use the essential oils, and I work out how to use those. Yeah. Can you just hold on one sec?
Pit, do you want to talk about how you're using Adaptive and how it's working for you?
Yes, Adaptive is my number one oil that I use at the moment, because especially the day before yesterday, I was feeling all over the place. All my jobs has been cancelled. That means no income, no jobs, and I was feeling a little lost. So I just took a tablet. I know that when I was feeling all over the place, Adaptive really helps me. So within 10 minutes, what I usually do is to set an alarm for 10 minutes and see how I feel after 10 minutes. So I was a completely different person. I was really calm. And it just does really do something for your brain. It really helps to reduce the activities in your brain. It's almost like a break of the brain. So it has a really amazing things like ahi flowers, which is a plant-based omega-3, high dose of that, and it has GABA and also silicium root. I don't know how you call that. So for me, Adaptive is my number one essential oils and number one capsules. Actually, I don't have it with me, but if you can, try a capsule, because it's going to make a huge difference. And I also use it for our children as well when they have stuff going on at school. And especially a little one who was quite anxious about going to school, and before they took an exam, so they had a capsule each.
Cool,
it really works for me.
Thanks, Pit.
Thanks, Pat. Sorry, I just had a...
I gotta go, guys. Thank you so much, Trish, for that.
You're welcome.
Oh, I like your cups.
We'll see you next time.
Any questions, just message me. I know I went quickly, and I'll try and find that booklet in the computer, and you can all have a copy.
One more question while we're on. We're talking about emotions. At this time, I know we're all trying to hold it together. Yesterday I went for a drive, and it was the first time I was by myself without the kids, and I just let the cries, let the tears go, and it was amazing. Such an amazing shift in energy. What oils do you suggest to kind of let it all out, rather than holding it all together and bottling it up?
For me, it would be Smart and Sassy, because that works on the emotion. And when we bottle our energies, when we're not crying, we're bottling energy up. And in a situation like this, I just want to cry all the time. When my old ladies tell me, I've got ladies in their 90s and they're on their own. Their families love them, but they don't understand them the way I do. So Smart and Sassy for me would be one of the best ones. Believe it or not, the other one I find is lavender, because it calms everything down. And when you're calmed down, quite often the emotions will rise up. And I think that's what we're really looking at. I think it would be good if maybe we made notes of how we're feeling and what essential oils we've used to see how they've lifted us up, so that we can share it. But what I've shared with you are my major go-tos, and I find that I get the really good results from them, and they're ones that you can use for multiple things, so that when people are first starting out using essential oils, they can use wild orange, lavender, peppermint, all those things for multiple purposes, and then they start to feel braver and go into other ones. Just watching Pit there, smelling her hands. Eucalyptus is another good one. And it not only just helps you with your sinuses and things like that, but it does help to bring a slightly more restorative feeling to you. And that's because it clears the airways. You can breathe better. One of the most important things we can do right now is to breathe. Breathe in through the nose slowly, down into your diaphragm, and exhale through your mouth. Just practice that. Do it slowly. Make sure you go into the diaphragm and exhale out through your mouth. And this helps to keep you calm. And when you do it properly, it makes you sit up straight and you lengthen your spine, which is your governing of your body. And you want to do that. You want to get that oxygen pumping through your body so that you can exhale. You may even want to do it for a few minutes, and just imagine that as you're breathing in nice and slowly through the nose, you're breathing in beautiful, clean, fresh, calm air. And when you exhale, the stress and the toxins and the pain are being released. And as you release it, give thanks. Just say, I give thanks for what I've learned. I let you out into the universe with love. And let your body relax. There isn't going to be any one way that works for everyone. And it's going to be a matter of us learning to understand ourselves and what works for us so that we can then share it on so other people can learn. Just while I have you here, on Monday night at 7:30, I will be doing 30 minutes of one-card readings. I've decided to bring those back in hopes of helping people, and I'll be running that on my personal Facebook page. And if any of you would like more information, I've decided to email out regularly. It's email because I know what I'm doing with that. And it's called the Wellness Group. If you would like to send me your email address, I will add you to the group. And that will just be letting you know when the free one-card readings are, little tips on how to use your essential oils. And I'm also going to do some little online courses trying to keep us focused on our business and keep us going forward for when we come out of lockdown.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Trish. You are an absolute gem, and I've got so much out of this. I hope everybody else has. I'll be posting this recording into the Essentialist, and I will show Trish how to put that cool ebook in underneath. And also, if we could get your Facebook link as well in there, Trish, so that everybody can come on Monday night and be part of that as well. That would be amazing. And you're such an awesome addition to our Essentialist team, and thank you so much for everything that you do for us, but also for the community. It's amazing. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. I've learned how to run 2 screens. Yay!
We're all learning this together.
We're all in this together.
Yeah, awesome, guys. And also, everybody, please feel free to post into the Essentialist Facebook page as well, because I really want it to be a strong support for each other, because I know that we're all going through all sorts of emotions, and we're all going through it together. So let's support each other as best we can. Cool. Thank you, Trish. I'm going to stop recording now, and we'll see you all next Wednesday. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.